On our next exciting project, come along for the ride as we fix up and semi-restore this Belarus 250AS tractor. Well, we've been saving this project for a while because it's a little more interesting than some of the things we normally do. This is a Belarus 250AS tractor. Yes, it is Russian. This is a 70-something model. They shipped these to the United States and kind of put all the little stickers in English and everything on them. It's pretty much built in the Belarus tractor plant, so it doesn't run. We'll give you a little tour and kind of give you the rundown of what's broken and what we're going to have to fix as we go through this thing. Generally, it's in pretty good shape for a tractor, but it doesn't run at the moment. This is a 2-cylinder air-cooled diesel. Does not currently run. It's missing the starter solenoid, but we do know that it turns over because we kind of messed with it a little bit on site before we brought it here. And we do know that it will fire, but we've got to order a starter solenoid from the Ukraine or some such place. So it is an air-cooled diesel. You got your air filter here. Your fuel tank is in the front. It's still got fuel in it, and we think it might be good. It's diesel. Does it ever really go bad? Got your injection pump and stuff over here, and on the other side is where it really gets interesting because that's the fan and everything over there. Battery tray, nice muffler there, just completely rusted in place. The wiring, well, this is the key. The wiring is, well, let's just say it's a good thing that you don't need wiring really to run a diesel. The transmissions on these is very interesting. This is your forward and reverse rather than a high-low. If you want to go forward or reverse, this just changes that. And then every other gear is controlled up here. This is neutral, and then you have your high side over here with your high gears. And then over here you have your low speed gears. If she cooperates. There we go. It's just really short gates on this thing. I don't know, it doesn't want to stay in whatever gear that is. Well, I don't know. It did run at one point. We know it runs. Anyway, interesting Belarus transmission. If you want to see more on that, there's other channels out there that have some interesting things. There's a battery cutoff up here that has never been hooked up as far as I know, but at some point we'll hook it up and make sure she works again. Toolbox. Oh, let's find out what's in the toolbox. That's always fun, engine parts or... Oh, we got a barroom shank. A fuel line of some sort. That's not a good sign. More fuel line parts. Rusty cotter pin latches. More fuel line parts. I'm thinking maybe this had some sort of fuel issues, but probably not. Well, that's a nice big bushing there. Anyway, lots of rusty things. No cans of ether, that's a good thing. What's this? Bud Light. Oh, it's a Bud Light flavor bar shank. Okay. Get down here without killing myself. Tires are in good shape, except for that front one there. She's flat. We're going to have to put a tube in there. Might need some taillight help here. Again, the wiring, so we don't know if they work, but we're going to have to rewire the whole thing. She's got your standard trailer wiring, which it's in really good shape. Must have been sealed really good, and standard PTO and everything, which again we know works, but we've never seen it work. That's the previous owner confirming that. Not too rusty, looks pretty good under here. Interesting thing about the Belarus tractors is they have these axles that you can unbolt and rotate down or up to lift the whole, to raise or lower the whole tractor on both sides in the rear. You want to change your row height for your crop or whatever, I guess. And here's more of that wonderful wiring harness. You can see the plastic is severely deteriorated. This ignition switch doesn't actually work and the key's long gone. We don't think that's the original switch. We think that's something somebody else put in. All that wiring, we're probably gonna, well, for sure we're gonna redo all that. Battery tray, this is made for two 6-volt batteries. So your tray slides out over here for this battery, and on the other side for the other battery. We're gonna be running her off a 12-volt for the moment because, you know, 6-volt, 12-volt. We know this is the glow plug circuit. Not sure what I was doing there, I don't remember. We were just messing around with that briefly when we were trying to get it running, but we'll pretend that doesn't exist. There, fixed. Okay, over here, this is your air intake. What happens here is this belt, your alternator belt, there's one belt for the whole engine, which again, we're probably gonna have to get a new one. That was a little crunchy. Runs this giant fan in here, which sucks in air and blows it past your cylinders and straight out the other side of the engine. Kind of interesting. These air-cooled diesels are pretty cool because there's less fluids, you know, and you don't have to worry about your engine freezing up in the winter. So, oh, something just scurried there between the cylinders. Here's your glow plugs. But it goes right between these cylinder fins and everything that we're gonna have to clean out, and just sucks air in here and blows it right across the cylinders. Nothing for the block or anything, just the cylinder heads is what we're pulling. So these things are cool. I know what you're doing, which apparently I don't. Even so, I hear there's cold weather kits for these things because they're made to operate in the Siberian tundra. And what that entails is basically kind of a block-off plate for this. It blocks off a lot of the airflow, so when you're starting it when it's cold, it doesn't suck as much air through, and runs a little warmer. Clean number 2 diesel fuel only. Well, I think we violated the first part of that because I doubt it's clean, but I don't know, it could be. We got some fuel in there. Yeah, not bad. Don't know about the clean part, but sure, diesel she'll run. Hood strap here is in nice shape. My lovely partner just commented that's probably because it's been hidden under the hood all these years. And well, this that takes special skills there. Come on now.
Tilt to the right, slow.
Well, I can see that, but
I know you were so
there we go. We got dirt daubers and all kinds of things there. It's fun, but we're gonna be cleaning it up. The plan is hopefully to repaint it at some point, and you can get these Belarus stickers and everything, so I've been told, and stripes, and plan is to kind of semi-restore it, but we want this thing to be able to still work, and it's not worth, you know, a ton of money as a show tractor or anything because it's still a Belarus. It's not anything rare like a 30s John Deere or something, but there's the Belarus tag with the model number. You can see it's actually, it is made in Russia, whatever that says. Probably Belarus Tractor Works. And then up here you have the made ready in Milwaukee or New Orleans, and what that means is basically they put these stickers on them and they shipped them without batteries, so then they would put batteries and fluids and things like that in them and things like that. Interesting thing, this fuse panel up here, these are Russian fuses. You know, if you've never seen Russian fuses, it's basically just a piece of cardboard with a wire wrapped X amount of times for your amp rating, and it just snaps into this thing there. And when they blow, you just take a piece of wire apparently and run it across the gap there. This must be the horn, I'm assuming. I'm sure it doesn't work because nothing's wired up on this thing. Oh no, it does have a return to the tank. I thought the diesel return went to the pump, but so you got your diesel injectors here, and then it's got a return. No, it's got a return both to the tank and a return to the fuel filter again. Interesting. I'm not quite sure. I guess as long as you have your injectors bled. again, we're gonna have to. We only messed around with that a little bit back in the day, but we know it did fire. We know that it will fire. So transmission on this thing is really beefy. As far as we know, all the hydraulics work. Here's your front and rear hydraulics on this block here. Brakes, your clutch over there, of course. I'm assuming this is some kind of hand brake, but it doesn't latch in down there, which we'll have to fix that. Got your throttle up here, hand throttle, all the way back is stop, and your PTO for the rear there. I don't know which of these is front and rear hydraulics. I'm going to go by the standard setup. This should be front maybe, and this should be rear or something like that. Anyway, the gauges are just absolutely toast. We're going to be figuring something out for that as well. Don't know if the PTO, I'm assuming the PTO works, but you just never know on these things. Does have oil in it. Not too bad, actually. Seems actually smells like oil, so that's good. Headlights are actually intact. That's pretty good. Yeah, so this has your standard pre-filter here for the air, and it goes down in here, and there's like supposed to be an oil bath, I think, that's supposed to pick up, you know, falling stuff to make sure it doesn't go through into your engine. Down here, this is your primer, but it just leaks like a sieve, so we're gonna have to address that. This is your throttle hookup, I think, here. It does have a compression release. Why did she leave me? I believe this is the compression release here, which again does work. So this is kind of a fun little project. I don't really need a tractor, but I always want a tractor. I mean, how could you not want a tractor? There's plenty of attachments you can get, obviously, but you know, standard 3-point hitch. So plan for this is we got to get a tube for this tire or something. That should just be all kinds of joy. And we have to get the starter solenoid, which right now is off. We have a battery for it, and it's currently percolating away on the charger. The only thing that we're missing now, and a new engine belt, the only thing we're missing now that's keeping us from starting it is the starter solenoid over there. Strangely, for Russian tractors or anything, this doesn't have like a hand crank or something. You know, you'd think that you'd want that fallback, and you know, you're stuck out in the Siberian tundra in the middle of nowhere and your battery's dead and you got to start your tractor, but there's no hand crank on this thing because the fuel tank's in the way, so not quite sure how that would work. Not sure what this inspection plate is, but we got 2 bolts missing down here. I guess that's your clutch inspection plate. It's nice and big. If you ever have to inspect your clutch, I guess. But anywho, the plan for this, number one, step one, we're going to get her running, and we're waiting on the starter solenoid for that. And once we get it running, then we're going to go over all the mechanicals, make sure everything is in good shape at the very least, and make sure it works. And then the next step is to redo all the wiring on this tractor. It's, I don't know if we're going to be able to save any of it. But we want everything to work like it's supposed to work. This isn't necessarily a restoration, so we're not going for factory original parts or anything, but we'll make sure it has the proper gauges that we want, and that all the headlights and tail lights and, you know, things like the horn and things like that work, so that, you know, you can actually run it if you want to. Step 2, now we're going to do the cosmetic stuff. There's some dents and things, and you know, you can't do a whole lot about that other than pound them out, but it is a tractor at the end of the day, so we're hoping at some point to clean her up real nice and give her a fresh coat of paint, and you know, slap new stickers on her and at least make her look like she deserves some new dress-up clothes. And you know, step 3, if we get that far, I never know. Sometimes things just explode for no reason, but step 3 is maybe to see if we can find any attachments or things for this and turn her into a useful working tractor. I mean, right now it's, you know, if we fix her up and get her running, we can use her for, you know, towing dead cars around or things like that, but ideally we want it to be able to be more than a one-trick pony. So we're gonna see what kind of things we can find for it. I'd love to find a front end loader, but I don't know if you can find a front end loader for these things. If anybody knows if they made one or make one, or can you get them, can you retrofit them? I don't know. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. If you got a loader, if you're anywhere near Florida and you got a loader, let me know. You know, I'd love to make this thing more useful. Yeah, I mean, you know, 2-cylinder diesel, it's pretty much indestructible, and this isn't a light duty tractor. This is, she's got some heavy duty guts here, so we're hoping to put her to work and make her useful. So if you know anything about these tractors that might help us out as we go through this, because we don't know much about them. Most of what we know is it's a tractor. It says Belarus on it. Sure, should be fun. So yeah, if you want to know more about this thing, eventually as we go through it, and I'm sure we'll make a playlist of our individual tasks and things on this tractor. And if you want to see more, subscribe, hit us up, you know, in the comments, or email us, and just, you know, if you just want to chat, or anyway, feel free to subscribe, like, comment. It's free, doesn't cost you nothing. Helps us out, helps the channel, lets us know whether we're doing a good job, lets us know whether we're doing things you want to see or not. This should be an interesting project, so if you want to see more, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll try to get you more content on this thing as we go through it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. Thought I had something to say, but it's just, that wasn't an opening. I gotta do an opening. I don't know. You're not helping me. You're not helping me at all here.
I'm sorry.
Sure, that'll work.